Joy is a revelation in the dealings of God with men that very few people have understood. Very few people have understood the mystery and the role that joy plays in granting that a believer walks in the experience of victory. Now please follow me very carefully. You're dealing with a meeting here that talks about shouting, and I want to show you the mystery of joy. Joy is a requirement to get the intervention of God in a man's life. It is not only faith, it is not only prayer. Joy is a principal requirement if a man will experience the hand of God. The Bible tells us in Philippians chapter 4 and verse 4 that we should rejoice in the Lord always. Rejoice in the Lord always. And again I repeat, rejoice. It never said rejoice in results. Rejoice in the Lord. There is a name he is called, the God of salvation. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. Apostle James now was talking to us in chapter 1 and verse 2. James chapter 1 and verse 2, he says to count it all joy, brethren. He's mentoring believers and he's saying, my brethren, count it all joy, not all loss, when you fall into diverse temptations. Count it, reckon it, express joy in the midst of it. And the revelation is in verse 3. It says, knowing this. That means there must be something you know for your joy to be there. Knowing this, you are privy to an information that keeps you consistent regardless of results. Knowing this, there is something you have to know for you to be unbending. Why should I stand in the midst of pain and still rejoice? Why should I lose a loved one and still rejoice? Why should I stand in the midst of obvious shame and disappointment and still rejoice? Why should I be a testimony of doom and still rejoice? It says, knowing this, there are things that you know. He said, for we know that all things, they may not know, but we are privy to this information, that all things can work together for them that love the Lord and those who are the called according to his purposes. Now look up please. It is natural for men to mourn. Jesus himself wept. Are we together? Jesus wept at funerals. Jesus was angry when a tree did not produce the kind of fruit he needed to eat. So we see that the humanity of Jesus played out in his earthly ministry. So people can get angry, people can weep, but God is teaching us a lesson that there is a position that a believer can stand. You can posture yourself by revelation and you will always win, not just in the battles of life, but you will find yourself consistently walking in victory in this kingdom. And the Bible says, for anyone at all who by intelligence can access this oil that the Bible calls the oil of joy, you must be anointed to be joyful. Joy is not something that humans can do all the time. It is not given to men to be consistent regardless of circumstances. Please look up. The reality of our humanity does not allow us to laugh and merry all the time. When you stand before a dead body of your loved one and you laugh and rejoice, they will call for a meeting and ask you what sponsored that wicked disposition, as they would call it. If you stand in the midst of fire and stand in the midst of pain and laugh and rejoice, the Bible testifies that you are not normal. Are we together now? Yes. That means that when I see something that gladdens my heart, I rejoice. When I see something that causes pain, I should not rejoice. I should follow through. But when a believer remains consistent regardless of the vacillations of our results, the Bible says that there is a grace that sponsors that consistency. It is called the oil of joy. Thy throne, O God, is forever, because thou hast loved righteousness and hated wickedness. God, even thy God, hath anointed you with an oil of gladness that sets you above your fellows. Joy is a requirement for supernatural intervention. God does not intervene just because he's a mighty God. There are requirements that mandate and allow his presence to come. Listen very carefully. The Bible tells us that Paul and Silas were two people who, on account of the gospel, are we together now? They were held bound with chains, hand and feet, and the Bible says they were kept in custody of a jailer. They knew, listen, with the kind of pain and humiliation that they had gone through, there was no reason to even pray. But the Bible says at midnight, they knew that if they would get God to intervene, they must engage this principle. And the Bible says Paul and Silas prayed. They didn't pray because they were served dinner. They didn't pray because the jailer said, I will smuggle you out. The Bible says they prayed and they sang. In the midst of it, remember that there is a law in this kingdom: you only reap when there is joy. There is no guarantee for a harvest, even if you planted a seed, until joy allows it. It says that those that sow in tears, they will reap not with joy, in joy. It's a realm that allows harvest. Please follow me very carefully. And so they began to rejoice in the Lord. And then the Bible says that there was an earthquake, and suddenly the chains fell off, and the jailer wanted to kill himself. And he said, no, we are here, we are safe. There's no need to hurry. If you bind us again, it's a principle that works all the time. There is no hurry. We have mastered the art of bringing ourselves out of any prison, that when we're in the prison, we don't talk about the prison, because the name of God under situations of pain is the God of salvation, Yehoshua, the one who can show up and bring salvation and save to the uttermost. The oil of joy, the oil of gladness. Listen very carefully. There are two things that joy produces in the life of a believer that I want to just touch on, and then we'll pray. Number one, according to Nehemiah chapter 8 and verse 10, joy is the principal sponsor of the strength of a believer. Nehemiah chapter 8 please, and verse 10, it says, neither be ye sorry. Don't walk as if there is no hope. It says, for the joy of the Lord is your strength. Please say that with me, Mina. The joy of the Lord is my strength. One more time. The joy of the Lord is my strength. It says, neither be ye sorry. That means there is a way out of that tragedy. There is a way out of that situation. And it says the joy, your strength in this kingdom is the joy of the Lord. Remember, the Bible testifies that if you turn aside in the day of battle, the diagnosis is that your strength is small. Paul prayed a prayer and prayed that the believers be strengthened in their inner man. And I'm showing you that one of the systems that make for strength is that you must be full of joy. That the joy of the Lord supplies strength. What is strength? The stamina, the fortitude to remain until you win. It's called strength. But the people that do know their God, the Bible says, they shall be strong. There are times that the battles of life are not won overnight. It may take time. Oh Abraham, you may need 25 years. Do you have the stamina to wait? If you cannot wait, you will always give birth to what will fight your promise. When your strength is weak, Ishmael will come and interrupt what Isaac should become and do. It takes strength. All the days of my appointed time, I will wait. Waiting is the hardest thing for a believer to do. Not praying, not fasting, waiting. Because 5 minutes to your breakthrough, it will still not look like it. It takes stamina. Please listen to me. It takes stamina to remain when your wife cannot take in after 2-3 years. All kinds of options begin to fly, and when you go to God, he will tell you what he told you before the marriage and act like he's not aware of what is happening. It takes strength in the spirit to remain. It takes strength in the spirit to remain when the ministry is not growing, and having invested efforts and everything, you're not getting the kind of result you should get. You usually will feel like giving up. Our deliverer, I don't know what you believe in. The Bible says some trust in horses. Everybody cannot trust in the name of our God. Some trust in horses, some chariots. But for us and for me, I know that though he slay me, I will trust him. I know that it is within his power to save me. The Bible already tells us that while we look not at the things that are seen, that means the things that are seen can deceive. They act like they will remain forever. The poverty will act like it cannot go. The challenge will, let me tell you, challenges are bold. They have an audacity that intimidates. There is something about God you need to sponsor your stamina while they stare at you. Every challenge looks immovable until God comes. Please listen to me. The joy of the Lord is your strength. A man can be depressed. Have you seen lately the rate at which people literally, they depress themselves to death? They go to the hospital and they cannot find out what is wrong, and the person will tell you, I cannot think, I'm just depressed. Notice that the character of depression is that it brings you to a point of silence where you cannot talk, you cannot celebrate. The joy of the Lord, bringing strength and vitality. Lord, I don't know how I'm going to come out of this situation, but I will rejoice in the God of my salvation.